some say that summer's a good time to slow down a spell, and for some that may be true, but not for those involved in the 2013 racing season. Hey, good Saturday morning to you, and welcome to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Racing radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. Mike Stanhope, your host, and thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, we're going to be visiting with Cocopah Speedway Director of Operations Greg Burgess in just a few minutes, overviewing the season's first half and also taking a look at the tremendous second half schedule that's coming up in September. First, though, it continues to be a summer of action for Cocopah Speedway Racing Series regulars who continue to hit the road for summer break travel and competition over no other way to say it than a major chunk of the country. And no one busier right now than Imperial's Lance Murray, driver of the number 19 SB IMCA Modified. Lance just wrapping up more than a week of racing every night in the Dakota Classic Modified Tour. That was 6 tracks, 6 nights, wound up just a couple of nights ago at Dakota Speedway in Mandan. Murray completing the 6-race series, 24th in the points, and rather impressive considering that out of the total series, 108 cars in all competed, most of whom are regulars at the tracks involved. No feature ones for Murray, but some impressive prelim runs, including a heat race win and some nice runs in B-feature competition as well. Aaron Turnbull of Estevan, South Dakota, by the way, was that series winner. Well, Murray now well into the tow, back to Imperial, but first a final pit stop. Murray hoping to make it into the Phoenix area in time this afternoon to run at Canyon Speedway Park just outside of Phoenix tonight, along with MRT team racer Jason Knoll in his number 44. Also in recent action, Brawley's Jason Higginbottom had his number 45 Pro Stock out and on the road last Saturday, making the tow to Verona just outside of San Diego, where he's seen quite a bit of action as of late, working different setups as part of his prep for the season's second half at Cocopah Speedway. And in that Saturday night feature at Verona, Higginbottom, ending a string of recent third-place finishes there, moved up to second in the feature after starting out of the number 8 hole and making some slick moves to get up to the front of the field. Also in action last Saturday night, Imperial's Dwayne Rogers and his DR89 IMCA Modified, helping to debut the return of dirt track action to Orange Show Stadium in San Bernardino. Rough start to Rogers' night of racing there as he wound up pulling off the track during heat race action with a broken hub. Rogers and his crew able to get that hub replaced, put him last in the field going into the feature. No problem for Rogers, though, as he began picking off cars one by one in a move to the front. Rogers ultimately bringing the DR89 home in 4th to finish out the feature. We mentioned that Murray and the 19SB are shooting for action tonight at Canyon outside of Phoenix. Another Yuma-based driver also on the road tonight as well. IMCA Northern Sport Mod points leader Ty Rogers and his 8T are in Holyoke, Colorado today for action tonight at Phillips County Raceway. Rogers had hoped to race last night at Nebraska's McCook Speedway. Unfortunately, the night of racing there not coming off because of a track prep problem. One other piece of news to pass along. Kent Rosevear, who'd most recently raced his number 02 IMCA Modified a couple of weeks ago at Paris Auto Speedway, has since sold that car to an as-yet unidentified new driver who's looking to compete in the season's second half at Cocopah Speedway. Rosevear now getting set to go to work on a new car for himself, as well as completing another car underway for yet another driver. And as the summer break continues at Cocopah Speedway, we'll continue to pass along news and notes on drivers from all 5 divisions that call Cocopah Speedway home. Well, up next here on Laptime Live, we'll visit with Cocopah Speedway's Director of Operations, Greg Burgess. A little look back at the season's first half and an overview of the absolutely tremendous second half schedule that kicks off in late September at Cocopah Speedway. You're listening to Racing Radio. It's Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Back with more in just a moment here on Outlaw Country AM 1400.
If you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, like me, coming home can be harder than expected. But it turns out I wasn't alone. At IAVA.org, there's a free online community of thousands of vets who've got your back. Whether it's managing the transition home or everyday stuff like finding a nice sweater for my dog.
Sweater?
Okay, maybe not that. Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is there for you. Join our community at IAVA.org.
We got your back.
Brought to you by IAVA and the Ad Council.
When you want to stay informed, all you need to do is tune in to Outlaw Country. When breaking news happens in Yuma, the Outlaw Country News Department is on top of it. News Director Jennifer Blackwell is quick to provide news information and updates to keep the community informed over the airwaves and on Facebook and Twitter. When you want Yuma news you know you can count on, keep it right here. Outlaw Country is your home for the best classic country and Yuma news with Jennifer Blackwell.
Outlaw Country is getting down and dirty with Cocopah Speedway. Mike Stanhope here, inviting you to join us Saturday mornings at 11 for Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. It's racing radio with news and talk featuring the local dirt track racing scene. Driver interviews, behind-the-scenes information you won't get anywhere else. That's Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, Saturday mornings 11 a.m. here on Outlaw Country. Sponsored by Cocopah Casino.
Find out more about your city of Yuma. The city is on TV through the city's Time Warner cable channels. City 73 features local interviews and gavel-to-gavel coverage of the Yuma City Council. The city's on the radio, Outlaw Country 1400, 6 to 9 a.m. each Thursday, where we discuss issues and take your calls. The city's on the internet at yumaaz.gov, where you can learn about every city department or function, sign up for recreation programs, or pay your water bill online. Going mobile? We're also on Facebook and Twitter. The city's a phone call away at 373-5000. The city is open. Visit City Hall 7 to 6 Monday through Thursday and 7 to 5 every other Friday. Meetings and work sessions of the Yuma City Council are open to the public. Radio, TV, telephone, internet, or in person. Find what you need from your city of Yuma.
No matter what type of air conditioning or heating help you need, schedule some help from 1 Hour Air Conditioning. Ready for the season? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating can help. No AC at all? 1 Hour can help. Need help upgrading your old inefficient system? 1 Hour can help. Now's the time to schedule your annual air conditioning safety inspection for just $59. Call 1 Hour today at 783-4242. Some limitations and exclusions apply.
We're always on time, but you don't play time.
Electrical work can be needed for a whole variety of situations. Let Specialty Electric help you. With all the various types of electrical work in your home, it's good to have a team of professionals who can bring your home to life. Specialty Electric not only does residential work, but does quality commercial work as well. Serving Yuma for over 30 years, Specialty Electric will be there every step of the way to ensure you'll get the quality work you deserve. For all of your electrical needs, day or night, call Specialty Electric, 783-3086, where quality is our specialty.
And welcome back to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And in studio with us now, Cocopah Speedway's Director of Operations, Greg Burgess. And good morning to you, Greg.
Thank you, Mike. It's good to be here. I thought I was going to be a little late out there. The parking garage was kind of jammed up, and then got on the elevator, got all the way to the top floor here to these palatial studios, and had a T-shirt on, and the guy wouldn't let me off the elevator. So luckily, he had a rack full of shirts there, so I'm here sitting with you now. But a little bit of a challenge getting here, and amazing this big studio spins up here. We get the view of the whole city.
Glad you were able to safely make it up with us, Greg, this morning. Yes, the digs are rather comfortable. Hey, just following up on the results we just talked about, has to be exciting for you to see so many of the Cocopah Speedway regulars doing really, really well on their visits out of town during this summer break.
You know, it's really good to see it, and it's great to see the guys endorsing racing, and totally, I know they've all got huge, huge financial investments, and to see them get out of town and go do some of that stuff, seat time is the key to all of this, and those guys getting out and doing some testing on some other tracks and doing some racing, and racing is a huge part of all of our lives, and to see them do that, it's really good to see them do that. So I'm happy for all of them. The results that they're getting are fun to see. That part doesn't matter. The fact that they're enjoying racing and doing some traveling with family and getting to see some other venues, I think that's really cool, and I'm happy for them that they can do that.
hoping to do some traveling myself, and I'll bet you're looking to do the same.
Yeah, I've got a trip coming up here shortly. I did quite a bit visiting a lot of Arizona tracks last year, wanting to see how we measured up and stuff. And, of course, I'm going to make a trip home here in a couple of weeks, or what used to be home, and visit my mom and attend the Northwest Modified Nationals at Grays Harbor Raceway. And then when I return, there's a couple of new tracks or tracks that have reopened that were not open last year when I was doing my touring. And so I hope to get out to Casa Grande and then possibly Sholo and Prescott, as I've not seen those facilities yet, and I'd like to. And of course, possibly revisit some of the others. So hoping to do some of that, but time's clicking down here. I counted days this week, and after today we've got 9 Saturdays left until we're racing again, so things are going to have to happen pretty fast.
I was going to say summer break may seem slow for some, but it really seems to be roaring by. No, you're constantly reviewing prior events with the aim of making them bigger and better next time around, and just kind of transitioning here a little bit. As you look back on the first half, any big takeaways that you've come out of the first half of 2013 with?
You know, I always try and learn, and I always, as you know, my goals are very high, and I set the bar very high for our staff and our facility, and feel like that's my job, is to set the bar high and give our racers and our fans everything they've asked for. So I learn every event, and I don't believe we'll do the 3 nights in a row at the Modified Nationals again. However, I do think we may make that event over 2 weekends in a row and go start it off on, I believe it's February 7th and 8th, and then finish it up the next Friday and Saturday with our finale. So I think things like that I always want to perfect and try and get better on. The off-road show, it was popular. It was not my favorite, and with the amount of work that took, I would never say never, but I don't see that being on the schedule in 2014. Demolition Derby, we learned some lessons there. That will come back, and we'll try and do better at that next year. As far as our regular series, we're just going to try and keep getting better at that, maybe get some more sponsors involved where we can possibly enhance some purses and make some of those events better. Some of the big shows like the Sprint Car Show, we have not ran a support class. Over the next month, I'll be announcing a support class will be added to the November Sprint Car Show. So things like that, I guess, is what I take away from the first half, and a whole lot of great racing. You know, there was just a bunch of good racing there, and I think seeing the guys adapt to the different track conditions that we have here due to weather, seeing my staff gel together. We've got a great staff. Always some adjustments to make, and as you know, we always learn. And we've got a couple of things we'll still work on and changes that may be had, but our staff has really adapted from a facility that ran 14 events before I got here to now doing 29 events, and some of those very large events. And so I'm really proud of everybody that's involved out there, and there are just a number of great people.
It's been exciting throughout the first half of 2013, and we're looking forward to a lot more excitement in the second half of 2013, and we're going to come back and touch on that in just a moment as we talk with Cocopah Speedway Director of Operations Greg Burgess here on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating.
Stay, play,
Dine at Cocopah Casino. Stay at the Cocopah Resort and Conference Center with mini suites, executive suites, and jacuzzi tubs. Play table games like classic blackjack, over 500 of the latest video and real slot machines, and bingo, voted Yuma's best for over 10 years. And dine at the Artisan Restaurant, offering breakfast buffets, lunch and dinner menus, and mouth-watering Angus steaks. Stay, play, dine at Cocopah Casino. Live the rush.
Perfect to the letter. You just can't do better. That's
Summer's here. Are you ready to spruce up that boat or watercraft? Pro can provide boat letters and custom graphics. Look your best on the lake or river and make a splash. Visit Pro for your free estimate.
You just can't do better. The Pro sign. Electric comes to Pro.
The Foundation of Yuma Regional Medical Center's annual drive for school supplies is underway. The drive provides new backpacks and school supplies to underprivileged children in the Yuma area. Since it started in 2000, the drive for school supplies has supplied nearly 26,000 backpacks and raised over $216,000. Last year, an all-time high of 4,043 backpacks were distributed to schools in Yuma County. The foundation is asking for the community's support in meeting a goal of 4,500 backpacks for the coming school year. Each filled backpack costs the drive for school supplies $13, and they will need to raise $60,000 this year to provide backpacks and school supplies to Yuma County students. Donations can be made online at yumaregional.org or at the Foundation of Yuma Regional Medical Center, located at 399 West 32nd Street. In addition to monetary gifts, donations of school supplies can be made by dropping them off at the Foundation office. All donations are tax deductible. For information on donating to the Drive for School Supplies, contact Serena at 336-2445.
Hi, I'm Russ Clark, and I've got a new home on your radio dial. Tune in Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for Outlaw Talk live and local from 6 to 8 a.m. Outlaw Talk is a great forum for local, state, and national issues, ranging from immigration to gun laws and everything in between. I'd love to take your calls, too. You can call 782-4321 and share your thoughts. It's Outlaw Talk on Outlaw Country, 6 to 8 a.m., Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I hope you'll join me.
Hi, this is Joe Montaigne. Every time my Uncle Willie tells me about his service in Patton's Third Army in World War II, I'm reminded of what we owe the U.S. Army. 14 generations of American soldiers who have courageously defended our nation. Their stories represent the best of America and should never be forgotten. Join me to help build the National Museum of the United States Army, a long overdue tribute to all American soldiers. To learn more, visit ArmyHistory.org.
You can help the Army Historical Foundation honor the soldiers of yesterday and today. Go to ArmyHistory.org to learn how you can help build the National Museum of the U.S. Army. The museum will be the Army's national landmark, preserving the sacrifice of every man and woman who has worn the Army uniform since 1775. Visit ArmyHistory.org today and honor the Army service of every generation. This message is brought to you by Z93 and Outlaw Country.
You're listening to Racing Radio. It's Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And back in studio with us again this morning, Cocopah Speedway Director of Operations, Greg Burgess. And Greg, as we look at 2013 and again on summer break, it's busy in another way right now, and that is the facility and spectator improvements we've seen throughout the year, and those are still underway as we speak.
Yeah, we're still at work. It's really funny every year, but people ask me, well, what are you going to do on your break? What are you doing? And really, it's true. I know it's hard to imagine, but this time of year is just as busy, if not busier for me. Yes, I do get the breaks from not having to work Saturday nights, but we're in the office or at the Speedway, at least 5 days a week. I came here from there this morning and planning not only 2014, but the rest of 2013. And then, as you said, improvements. Big project that we're working hard on right now, trying to make some headway on, and we are making headway on, would be the pit garage for the racers. and having concessions down there, some minor parts, some apparel. It's looking beautiful. It's really coming along. I believe that we will make our goal of having it open when we reopen on September 28th, and it's really exciting to be able to bring something like that to the Speedway. There's not a lot of tracks that have something as nice as we're going to have there, which is kind of consistent across our whole facility. But it's going to be a great addition to the Speedway, and I'm really happy that we're able to make that happen.
Looking at the schedule itself as we look towards late September and the return of racing here, I'm looking at that calendar. I just got to go, wow, full.
Yeah, it is, and we talked about it early in the year, and I looked at the schedule and kind of tried to compare, not having a lot of experience here at this facility and weather and so on, is I tried to back off the warmer months a little bit, like only having one event in June, only having one in September, and making that late September, but trying to get in the number of events we want with backing off that many months. We've got to have some two-night shows and some back-to-back shows. So that's kind of how it came about. And then, as you said, November is it's going to be quite a month there with 3 two-night weekends. And I'm really excited about all of it. The Turkey Classic this year, we will run all 5 divisions, where in years past we've tried to make that a pro stock event and ran a couple of support divisions, but was not getting the car count that I was hoping for, and a lot of the other racers want to race then, and the modifieds, it works out perfect, as they've got big races the weekends before that, all the way from the Duel in the Desert, and then going to Casa Grande for a big 2-night show, and then Canyon for a 2-night show, and then they can come here and run our Turkey Classic. I think it's gonna be the best ever, and I think we're all going to be really happy that we've done that. I'm working on hopefully we can enhance the purse for the modifieds and the pro stocks. Not sure where that's going to come out yet, but by September 28th you'll all know. So we'll keep working on that, and that sits right in the middle of what we're doing with a winter series. Is September 28th will reopen. That will be the IMCA championship night. We race again the next week, October 5th. That'll be the opening round of our six race winter series. And there was a couple of thoughts behind this. That would be is that the IMCA season's over. We can have a mini-series for modifieds. But for the rest of our divisions, it'll give guys that have been building cars, not been out yet, it'll give them a chance to still run for a championship this year. So we'll not only have our track championship ongoing, but we're going to start over with the winter series, and we'll have a championship from that as well. And so, of course, the IMCA champion will be crowned on the 28th, but the other divisions will all have a chance to run for this Winter Series championship as well. So we'll keep collecting points there. Someone will. Scorekeeping's got a job on their hands, but they can handle it. And we'll run that right through the end of the year until our last race, whereas that December 7th would be the final race of the Winter Series. And the Turkey Classic will also be included in that Winter Series. I think it'll be a really fun thing to do. It'll give those guys a chance that had some issues in the first half and wanted to run for a championship. If they fell out a little bit there, well, they can retool right now, come back, and by October 5th, they can tear into it, and maybe they can run for that 6-race Winter Series championship.
That's an awesome opportunity to be able to either, come back from a rough start to the season, or as you've noted, we're seeing a lot of other cars being put together here in the Yuma area. Something to shoot for all the way through. Nice to see.
Yeah, I think it'll give options to those people that may not be where they want to be in the points. It'll also, for those point leaders, they could essentially take both championships as well. So it's going to be fun to watch that develop. I'm hoping we can keep that going, and I'm hoping also to get some sponsors involved, and maybe we can do some enhanced purses all the way through that 6-race mini-series. And if not enhanced purses, maybe we can come up with a small point fund or something. I know how much the racers spend, and I appreciate what they're doing, and I'm doing my best to give back. I'm the racer's friend, and this speedway is all about the racers, and we want to do things that help them as well. They come out there with their families, put on a great show for the fans, and we're going to keep building things that benefit the racers, and we're going to keep trying. That's not saying the speedway doesn't need to get to a point of break even or making a buck, as they deserve that for the investment that the Cocopah tribe has made there. So I want everybody to do well with their personal businesses, let that be racing or other businesses, and hopefully everybody's got that opinion that the Cocopah tribe, with their investment, we want them to do well too.
You used the word building there a couple of times, and you'd passed a quote along to me recently about building, and it really seems to relate to both racing action and the overall experience for all of us, no matter how we're involved with Cocopah Speedway.
I've learned a lot of what I know by watching, and that's not saying I know a lot, but I've done a lot of watching at different levels all the way. I at one point sponsored a street stock, and I've sponsored sprint cars and modifieds as well. And from what I can see, the key for all of these guys is building. It's not rebuilding. And when I say that, I mean, you can get some good momentum from night to night by building off your results and getting better and better and building your program. Whereas if you're getting in wrecks constantly and going backwards, it's very difficult to establish any consistency and build anything, because you're always replacing, you're always starting over. Let it be set up, let it be parts. You can't build anything. And I guess I kind of, now that we're talking about that, I looked at our speedway the same thing, is it's all a matter of building. And I've talked a lot about having a good foundation there, and there is a great foundation there, but we've got to keep building and doing, and that I think you've seen in the constant improvements there, staff changes, all of that is part of building and getting us to the future. And I hope the racers will work more on their consistency and building instead of rebuilding.
Along that same theme of building, and this is a question I put to the racers from time to time, but where do you see things in 5, say 10 years down the road?
You know, it's really, I've got a picture in my mind and a plan. My boss says that I've got it in my mind, where they're wondering what I see. And I really just see us as being one of the top facilities in the nation. I look a lot at Lucas Oil Speedway and their pictures. That is by far, you can ask anyone, that is the facility. They spent over $10 million building that facility. It is beautiful. Well, I don't want to compare with something that's not the best, because my goals are that I want us to be the best. And you know, from what I ask of staff, is that let's not do this halfway. Let's do this all the way, and let's keep going. And so I guess I just see more improvements there. Great addition, the VIP suites that David White Construction and Les Evans Construction have built. We've got room for 4 more of those. I want to see that happen. I want to finish the beautiful pit garage that we've started. We've got to get a better spectator area for the drivers. I know that, and that's on the target list. Maybe some grassy areas for seating. Concessions we've been working on for 2 straight years since I got here. Somehow we're going to get those lines down. I've got a plan. We're now doing more than we've ever sold there, and we're going to keep working on that. And it's going to keep getting better and better. There's lots of improvements there. At some time in the future, I'm not putting a date on this today on the radio, but I would like to see maybe track champions get their choice of pit stalls and for the next season. And once we did that, ultimately what I'd like to see in all of the pits, of course, would be water and power to every pit stall. So if we could start off by doing those track champion stalls and doing that, giving them their choice and making those some very nice pit stalls, maybe that would be another thing we could build on and then work towards the future on. There's a lot on my list out there. The RC track for RC racing is up there. The kids track, we're finally getting some momentum again going on that. Been a little bit of talk of BMX recently. The list is ongoing. I would like to see the sand drags come back to Cocopah and just go with that. And then, of course, big events also will help us get all of that done. So that was a long answer for a short question, but that's kind of what I see. Hopefully, the racers want me here, the Cocopah tribe want me here in the community, and I can be here and help get all of that done for all of you.
All about putting more luster on the diamond.
That's it.
Greg Burgess, Director of Operations at Cocopah Speedway. And Greg, we thank you again for taking the time to come in and bring us the update this morning. It's a wonderful one to hear.
It's my pleasure to be here, and I appreciate all you do. And again, I want to thank all of our staff there at Cocopah Speedway. I do ask a lot of you guys and expect a lot of you. And everybody, nobody gives any feedback on the staff. They all understand the reasoning behind what I request, and it's been a lot of fun working with everybody there. This has been a great thing. Thanks to Outlaw Country for allowing us this time to have a radio show. It's not a lot of speedways that have one. We do have one, and TV stations coming on board wanting us to be part of their sports segments in the future. So it's all coming together. The great work that the Yuma Sun does for us. There's just a lot of positives here, far more positives than negatives, and we just got to all band together, and we can have something very, very special here.
Greg, thank you once again for stopping in this morning.
Thank you, Mike.
And like to certainly remind you that to learn more about all the things we've been talking about this morning, the 2013 season, what's happening when, the big second half schedule, all of that and more available on the World Wide Web at www.cocopahspeedway.com. And make sure you like the Cocopah Speedway page on Facebook. Bit of a programming note to pass along also. Archive of past Laptime Live programs can now be linked to through CocopahSpeedway.com under the Multimedia tab. If you'd like to hear what a particular driver or guest was talking about on one of our prior programs, you can get to the audio and the pictures again under the Multimedia tab on CocopahSpeedway.com. Summer break may be on, but the racing news never stops, and we'll be right here to bring it all to you, building momentum for the second half of the 2013 season. You've been listening to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Back with more next Saturday morning, 11 a.m., here on Outlaw Country, AM 1400.